Shalom. Shalom. I'm Reuven. Welcome to my home here in Jerusalem. Today, it is the festival of first fruits. The third day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the week-long feast where we eat bread made without yeast, the matzah. I wish I had some matzah right now. But it is the third day of the feast, the festival of first fruits, the first fruits of the soil, the day where we bless God for the first life-giving thing to spring up from the ground. Normally, this is a day of joy for us. But today I'm sad. Let me explain to you. No, there's too much. Let me sum up. On the first day of the feast, it is the Passover meal, a celebration of our freedom. My brothers, my cousins, many guests joined us in our home for the Passover. In our upper room, a stranger, a rabbi, a teacher, and his disciples joined us. That was odd. But during the meal, I asked my brothers, what do you know of our guest? I have heard his name, but I know little about him. What can you tell me of this Jesus? And my brothers, beginning with John, then my cousin, our cousin Theophilus, and finally my brother Michael, they tell me stories of miraculous things this Jesus has done. They have seen them. They say he is our Messiah, our anointed King, sent to bring an age of peace. And that night, by the testimony of my brothers, I too put my faith in this Jesus. But we have another brother, Mordecai. He did not see it this way. Mordecai, he only saw that if we were to raise up a king of the Jews, that the Romans would see it as rebellion. And the Romans crushed rebellion. Mordecai would not risk his nation, his family, his city, his temple. This Jesus and his disciples, they left early. We tried to stop him, but Mordecai, he followed, wanting to turn him over to our authorities, who had wanted to arrest him for many days, when there was no crowd around to cause trouble. My brothers and I, we stayed until the morning, according to the law of Moses and the tradition of our fathers. Then we went to find Mordecai. We found him in a crowd, a group organized by the chief priests and the leaders of our people loyal to them, their minions really. He was in this crowd, going from the house of the chief priest to the palace of Pilate, the Roman governor. We called to him as we went along with. He would not answer. Then John, my youngest brother, he says, "It is him. It is Jesus." I had not recognized the man who had been a guest in our home. He had been beaten. They took Jesus to Pilate and they accused him of many things. Pilate said, "I find no fault in him." "Why do you accuse him?" "I find no fault." Jesus, he would only answer to one charge, that he is the King of the Jews, the Messiah. Then the crowd, including our brother, they were sent by the chief priest to Pilate to ask, as is the custom, for one prisoner to be released. And Pilate said, "You want me to release to you this King of the Jews, Jesus?" But the crowd said, "No, we want Barabbas." Barabbas, who had been in a rebellion of hatred, of violence, of murder. They asked for Barabbas. "What of your king? Crucify him. Crucify Jesus." A man leading a rebellion of healing and love and hope. They shouted, "Crucify." I looked at my brothers, and we looked down in silence. To side with the man convicted by our leaders is to be put out of the synagogue. To side with the man condemned by the Romans for rebellion is to risk being executed as a rebel yourself. We feared. Pilate said, "Why? What has Jesus done?" But stirred up by the high priest, this crowd, they shouted louder, "Crucify! Crucify Jesus!" In the silence of my brothers and I, it grew louder as well, until it was deafening. Pilate saw that our leaders would lead a rebellion themselves, and he gave in. He released Barabbas, and he condemned Jesus to die. My brothers and I, in our silence, we had saved our lives, but we had no joy in this. 2 women and a man approached us at this time. I did not know them. But my brother Michael, he called out, "Mary, Martha, Lazarus." Lazarus. The story my brother Michael had told that night of Passover. Lazarus, who had died and been raised to life by this Jesus, he stood before me, alive. And there stood Jesus, who had raised him condemned. Because of the story of Lazarus, I had put my faith in Jesus. What mistake had I made? Having done their work, that crowd broke up, and Mordecai then approached. Now we would not speak to him, but he said, "My brothers, you must know, I did not betray Jesus to have him arrested. It was someone who left our home before that night. It was one of his own who betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. But brothers," he said, "can you not see? Do you not see it is better for this one man to die than that the whole nation should perish?" Maybe I could see. But I had seen enough, and I went home. But life goes on. Huh? It is first fruits. It is a celebration of new life springing up from the ground. And so we give thanks. We sing Psalm 118. We give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, and His love endures forever.
Lord, for He is good, His love endures. His love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron sing, His love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, His love endures forever. In my distress I called to the Lord, He answered and set me free. The Lord is with me, I won't fear. What can man do to me? For I was falling, but He saved me. He is my strength, He is my song, and now He set me free. I won't die, but I will live. I'll tell what He has done. With the Lord protecting us, the victory is won. The stone the builders have rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this is amazing. Let's rejoice and sing. Shouts of joy and victory come from the righteous. The Lord is God and He will make His light shine upon us. Oh Lord, please save us, we beseech You, Lord, grant us success. Blessed is He who comes in Your name, from Your house be blessed. Thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Let Israel sing, His love endures. His love endures forever.
The angel said to the woman, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen just as He said. Come and see where He used to lay. Then go quickly and tell His disciples, He has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see Him. Now I have told you." So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell His disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them. "Greetings," He said. They came to Him, clasped His feet, and worshiped Him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me." Wow.
Is this true?
He has risen, yes.
Is what you say true, beardless rabbi?
It says, yes, He has risen. He is amongst us, Reuven.
You tell me that He did not die of the malice of my brother and the Jews, but He is the Lamb of God, given for the forgiveness of my sins?
Yes, Reuven, it is true.
I was right to believe.
It was true, yes, brother.
He is alive today.
Today.
He is the first fruits.
He has risen.
John! Michael!
Yes.
You are certain.
Yes, certain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mordecai. Martha! Jacob! Rachel, He lives! My Redeemer lives! He lives!
With joy. A picture of someone believing for the first time. Do we have that joy? Are we that excited even today of what Jesus has done? That he didn't stay in the grave, that he has risen.